2015 is in the books, and I guess we can say it's wrapped up. We can put a bow on it. And I am here right now with Ken Burke, the founder of MarketLive, and we're going to talk a little bit about how his clients did over this weekend. Ken, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing great. It was actually a really good weekend in a lot of ways. So we were pretty jazzed, by the end of Monday night, and we were also exhausted too. So it's a 5-day event, as you know, for us.
Oh yeah, and 5 days worth of exhaustion too.
Yeah, it was. But yeah, the customers actually did really well. So, by and large, online did really well. So we were very happy with that.
That's cool. We did hear there were a lot of tepid numbers kind of coming in from the mainstream media and people talking about, well, Black Friday was down in the stores, but not a lot of people are talking about e-commerce. And your clients, from the press release I got from you guys, your clients did really awesome over the weekend. What did your clients do to pretty much buck these trends of e-commerce being kind of flat?
Yeah, e-commerce, I've seen a bunch of different numbers from Amazon, and I saw numbers, coming out from IBM and other people. And while our customers were a bit ahead of them, I didn't see it necessarily being flat. So I think the mainstream media might be a little bit off in terms of the cyber reports that I'm seeing anyway. Now I know it's still a little bit early. However, we did do better. And I think, a couple of things. A lot of our customers upgraded this year. Their mobile experiences were 10 times better or 100 times better than they were the last year. And I think we saw that in mobile conversions were way up. Mobile traffic wasn't way up because last year it was up so much. So the percentage change increase wasn't up dramatically, but it was still up. And so I think that going to responsive design, having a great mobile experience and then a really good desktop experience as well, with new redesigns coming out, because when you go responsive, you redesign. I just think the sites were smarter, they were faster, they were better. We moved to AWS, Amazon Web Services, and I have to say, the response time, we were up 100% of the time with 100% of our customers without a bleep. Thank God. I should knock on wood because I don't want anything to happen for the next 2 weeks. So, I think that contributes to it, where you saw Target and even Marcus and other people down. You got to have good infrastructure, but you also have to have a great website. So we were up 36% on Thanksgiving Day year over year from the same customer base, meaning the same group of customers we look at, and 24%, a little over 24% for Black Friday. The weekend is always a little bit slower. It's not slow, but it's a little bit slower. So we were up 6, 7, 8% on both Saturday, and I think 9% on Sunday, somewhere around there as well. So I was pretty happy with those results. But I will tell you, Cyber Monday was a little bit slower. I don't have the final numbers yet, but Cyber Monday was a little bit slower. And I think that customers pushed forward their shopping to Thursday and Friday because of all the hype, especially all the hype online. And Cyber Monday has really been stretched out to Cyber Week. And I think that is causing Cyber Monday not to be such a big boom, which, by the way, as a provider, in some ways, it's good to be stretched out just because everything can be a little bit more sane. And that's what I'm hoping to see from this Cyber Week, starting really Monday, going all the way through, Saturday or Sunday of this next week.
Something else your customers did a great job at was with social media. I did see some numbers this week about social media, sales influenced by social media were relatively flat. And what you're reporting, it was pretty much off the charts phenomenal. What's the secret sauce then? What are your clients doing with social media to get the Facebook, the Twitter, and the Pinterest influencers?
Yeah. I was surprised with those numbers too. We saw an over 200% increase in traffic directly related to social media. So it's not influenced by. We only measure direct traffic. Now, I will say the numbers last year were actually quite low. So, just in general, we're working on very small percentages. So to see a 200% increase on 1% of your business is nice, but it's not dramatic, right? It sounds more dramatic in the percentage. I just want to make sure we're clear on that. But we definitely saw more traffic and more conversion from that. And I think we put in, over the course of the last year, we've actually put in social loyalty for some customers, more activity on Facebook, pin it to win it contests. So we've been actually, over the last year, we've been putting in social login as an example, as another example, putting in features that actually stimulate social. We're encouraging customers also to merchandise from the social activity. So for instance, merchandise top trending on Pinterest is a category that we've been advising our customers on over the course of the year. And a lot of them have followed it. So as we're seeing kind of some of those tie-ins to the merchandising strategy on the site, that's also helping the conversion as well. And people just getting more aware of social media. So.
that Cyber Weekend is kind of spread out a little more. I mean, it starts Thanksgiving. It starts even before Thanksgiving too.
Yeah.
So what will that mean for the next couple of weeks then? Are we going to see do you think we're going to see a typical holiday season where there's kind of a lull for the next couple of weeks and then a little pickup the week of Christmas? Or do you think this year Christmas is going to be one of these big last minute booms and everyone's going to try to stretch promotions to the last possible moment?
Yeah, I think two things. One is because overall retail seems to be a little bit soft in terms of what everybody's reporting. And you know what, coming into this season, the fall was actually not very good. The warm weather for a lot of our apparel companies has not actually played very well. We really haven't had fall coming in. I mean, I was in New York like a week and a half ago and it was 60 some odd degrees. And
you caught our good week there.
Oh, I did. Yeah, I must have, because I'm like, what's going on? This is great. I loved it. But I think that's actually happening. And I've talked to some of my apparel companies, outerwear companies and things. And while they're doing pretty well, they're also battling the weather issues as well. So we came into this whole season pretty soft overall. Retail was pretty soft in the August, September, October timeframe. It started to ramp up in October. Anyway, from my numbers, the ones that I look at. So I think what we're going to see going forward is I do think that Cyber Monday and Cyber Week is going to stretch out. I think we're going to see more discounting, and I think we're going to see some pretty heavy discounting. I either see holiday happen early or late, and it seems like it's going to happen late this year based on what I'm seeing just kind of coming off. Yes, we had some great numbers, but overall the industry's still been a little lethargic, and I think people are waiting. And I think that's going to cause retailers to start to spiral down discounting, which I hope they don't do too much. They haven't had to do that in the last couple of years, by the way. They've discounted, but they haven't had to over discount. And I watched it 3 or 4 years ago. It was a bloodbath. I mean, it was a bloodbath around discounting after Cyber Monday aggressively to get sales. I'm not sure. I think the retailers are going to wait this week to see what happens and then how aggressive they need to get. And I do think it's going to be a late holiday, though. It's not an early holiday like it has been the last couple of years.
So tell me about some of your clients too. I know you have, I'm sure you have a few all-stars out there. Which clients would let you say, hey, Ken, talk about me to multi-channel merchant. Tell them what a great job we did.
Oh, well, I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about sales, but I can tell you that companies like Sundance Catalog had their best day ever. I just saw, which was Cyber Monday yesterday. I don't want to say too much about it. It was spectacular, by the way. I mean, they're just so brilliant at everything they do anyway. I'm never surprised, but always impressed with them. Cost Plus World Market, record days. From what I saw, the numbers, at least they had very, very strong numbers. And I saw our apparel companies come in very strong. Wilson's Leather, Armani Exchange blew me away in terms of their numbers as well. So I did see some really strong numbers from apparel specifically. I mean, thinking both high-end, we have high-end apparel companies like Intermix as an example. The numbers were, I don't want to give out any numbers. I'm just saying, when I looked at the rankings, I went, wow, apparel is doing really, really well this year, right? So those are the ones that surprised me the most.
Now, is that even with the like people buying sweaters or people buying outerwear right now? With the warmer autumn we had, do you think people just figured, hey, it's Black Friday weekend, it's Cyber Weekend, I might as well just buy all the stuff now because it's going to be cold in no time?
Yeah, and I don't know exactly. I didn't look at the category breakdown of what they were buying. I know it, like Wilson's Leather, they've got a nice mixture of, they've got a great selection this year. So I think that's helping both their lighter outerwear and their heavier outerwear. But I didn't look enough at individual categories within each apparel company. But I did see, high-end apparel, I did see do really well. And that tells me it's not just outerwear; it's really dress wear and people have more money. Quite frankly, the rich have more money, and quite frankly, I'm here in California in San Francisco, and money just oozes out of the street corners here right now. Sounds nice, but so that's why I'm a little bit perplexed as to why we had not the greatest of fall, and why the world is or at least the U.S. is predicting that the holiday sales are not as robust as they would think. I'm a little perplexed as to why we're not seeing more going on for retail right now.
We're mentioning the earlier holiday season, Cyber Week being stretched out a little bit. You mentioned money oozing out of the streets of San Francisco, and what I'm leading up to then. Congratulations! I understand that you've been sold. So tell us a little about what's going on here with you guys.
Yeah, very quickly.
The new owner.
We are very excited. We actually got sold to a company called Vista Equity Partners. They're phenomenal, and they're the 9th largest software company. They own about 200 software companies in the world, and they're the 7th most profitable when you look at all their companies combined. So they're huge, but they're going to allow us to. And we also merged with a company called Shopatron, a distributed order management system. And by bringing those two systems together, now we have the full omni-channel promise that everybody's been trying to get to. We actually have, and I am so excited about this. And I think we're going to be acquiring additional companies to add to our portfolio to actually bring a really incredible solution to the market. So we're just thrilled. It's not just an acquisition to some crazy company. We're going after it, and we're going to really, really build a phenomenal retail platform. We already have a lot of really good underpinnings for that right now. So.
Well, this is really great because I mean, like, I've been doing this for 10 years now, and you and Ed Stevens are like the first two of the first people I've met in this industry on the e-commerce side. And I've never seen the two of you in the same room. So for a while, I was like, maybe like you guys are the same person or something.
I don't know.
But it's great to see that. I mean, for being pioneers in the industry and being able to sell your companies to Vista the way that you did. I mean, it's just great to see great things happen for you guys.
Thank you so much. We're thrilled, and I can't wait for the future. It's so exciting.
Oh, great. Well, I guess we'll end on a high note then. So, Ken, thank you so much for spending time with us today, and enjoy the rest of your holiday season.
Thank you. You too, Tim.